Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this video session we are going to see how to install Docker on Ubuntu 20.10. But before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, so let's start. So friends, in this session we are going to install Docker. Also we are going to see some Docker commands, some important Docker commands. Also we are going to create our own network inside the Docker. Okay, so first command, cat space /etc/os release. As you can see, I am on 20.10 Ubuntu Gorilla Groovy. Okay, so how to install Docker on Ubuntu Gorilla Groovy 20.10? Sudo space apt space install, then docker.io and hit enter. It will install Docker on Ubuntu 20.10, which I have already installed. Okay friends, now if I run the command sudo ifconfig, so this is what our Docker interface. Okay, the 172.17.0.1, this is what our Docker IP address means. If I create a new container, it will get the IP address from this network 172.17.0.1. okay, so this is what the interface. Now if I want to check the if we want to check the name of our Docker bridge, so how we can check it? So simply we are going to run the command sudo docker, then network, and just we are going to mention the list, means ls, sudo docker network ls, hit enter. As you can see, this is what our Docker bridge and local. The name is bridge and driver is bridge and scope is local, means our network is basically in our local network. Okay, so the local is scope. Okay, now how to check the container, if we currently run any container or not? So how to check if the container is right now running or not running? Okay, so how to check it? Sudo space docker space ps and hit enter. As you can see, the container ID is nothing, image is nothing, command is nothing, and nothing is right now running with our Docker. Okay, now we want to run a container. So how we can run? Simply I am going to open here another terminal. Okay, and I am going to make zoom. I hope it better, or I want to make some minus. Okay, so we are going to run a container, a new container. So simply the command we are going to use here, sudo space docker, then run space --rm space, then -it space --, we are going to give the name for our container. So name, mention the name, the one is the name, and then we are going to also mention the host name. Okay, so host name. Okay, then space, mention the name for host name. So Freedom Tech 1 is the host name, then the image which we want to pull. Okay, so I am going to pull Ubuntu image, then space, then /bin/bash and hit enter. Of course, the sudo password, and as you can see, we are now inside the Docker Ubuntu image. Okay, so ifconfig, of course the command not found because there is no packages installed. So simply we are going to first update apt update. It will update the repo. As you can see, it's updating the repo. Okay, so we update the package. Now we are going to run the command apt space install net-tools. Okay, it will basically it will set the ifconfig command. Okay, now we can able to run the ifconfig command. As you can see, as I told you, we have here, now if I run the command ifconfig, so we have here a 172.17.0.1. this is what our Docker network, and the container which we run, Ubuntu container, it's got the IP address 172.17.0.2. okay, so this is what the IP address. Okay, now if I come here and I want to check more details of our container, so how can we do this? Sudo space docker, then we are going to run the command docker network inspect, and we want to mention here our network name. Okay, so our network name is bridge. Okay, how to check it? As I already told you, sudo space docker network and ls. So this is what the name. Okay, and we want to check more information of our bridge interface for Docker. So how, for that we are going to run the command sudo space docker, then space again network inspect, and mention this name bridge. So bridge. Okay, as you can see, we have all the detail, more detail about our Docker network interface, also container. So I will show you. So as you can see, the scope driver is bridge, enable IP version 6 false, of course, because we don't have IP version 6. Then driver is default option, subnet is what, 172.17.0.0. okay, then here as you can see here in containers, we have now the container, one container which is the name is 1. okay, and the IP address is our container, new container, the Ubuntu container which we just pull from cloud, Docker cloud. So the IP address for that 172.17.0.2. okay, now I'm going to go in our container. I am going to just make exit here. Okay, and again I'm going to run the same command sudo docker network inspect bridge. If I hit enter and going up, and here as you can see in the containers, this session, okay, this section, the containers, now there is no container, as you can see there is no container. Again if I go here and I am going to run the container, okay, if I again go here and the same command inspect bridge, and as you can see in containers, now there is a container 1. okay, so this is the way you can pull the container from Docker cloud. So this is what the command sudo space docker space run --rm space -it space --name space 1 is the name, then for name for container, and the host name and the image and /bin/bash. okay, so we have the one container. okay, again we want to if we want to run the command, so just to update the repository and install the package net-tools. It will basically install the ifconfig command. okay, now friends, as I told you, we want to create our own network in Docker. okay, so how we can do this? Simply I am going to first clear the screen and we are going to create here our own network. okay, so simply we are going to run the command sudo space docker space then network create, and we want to mention the network name. okay, so I am going to create freedom tech. Freedom tech is our network name, space then just mention --subnet, then is equal to mention the subnet, so 10.0.0.08. okay, so sudo docker network create, and the name, just a minute, okay, now that's better. So this is what the total command, sudo space docker network create, and this is what our network name which we want to create, then mention the subnet and just hit enter. As you can see, we have now create our own network with 10.0.0.0 interface. So if I go here and I'm going to run the command if config, and as you can see here, we have now another bridge 10.0.0.1, and also we have here a VETH interface, which is completely new interface. Okay, so we created our own network 10.0.0.1. okay, now friends, I want to connect, basically I want to pull the Docker container, and I want to connect that container in my new network, okay, which we created. We created a Freedom Tech network. Okay, also I want to check the network details, so we are going to run the same command. As you can see, this is what the command for checking the more details of our network. But first I am going to show you. Now if I run the command sudo space docker space network, then ls for listing the interface of our Docker, ls. So as you can see here friends, we have our Freedom Tech, name is Freedom Tech, and driver is bridge. Okay, because this is what the network which we created. This is by default, a bridge is by default, and the one which we created right now, the Freedom Tech, and driver is bridge. Okay, so I want to check the more details of our Freedom Tech network. Okay, so sudo space docker space network inspect, and mention the name, the Freedom Tech is name. You can create your own name. Okay, and hit enter. So as you can see, all the details, name is Freedom Tech, subnet, then in containers, as you can see, in containers there is no new container. Now I am going to create a new container with our new network. So simply I am going to again open new tab, new container, new terminal, not container. Okay, and here also I am going to make a zoom. I hope you will see clear. So here we are going to create a new Ubuntu container with our new network. Okay, so simply the command sudo space docker space run --rm -it, then --name. Here we are going to name the two, okay, and --host name, then mention the host name Freedom Tech 2, then image is our Ubuntu /bin/bash. I forgot to mention here our network. Okay, so this is what our default command, friends, and if I run this command, our new container will connect with our by default network, which is bridge, but I want to connect this container with our new network, okay, or new bridge network. So how can we do this? Simply after it mention here --net and our new bridge name. So Freedom Tech is our new bridge name which we created, so Freedom Tech. Okay, and just hit enter. Of course the password for sudo. And now if I go here, okay, and I am going to run the command sudo docker network inspect Freedom Tech, as you can see we have new container 2 and it's got the IP address 10.0.0.2. so I am going to go, this is what our container, clear, and here sudo apt update, it will update the, no mention, no need to basically sudo because we are a root. So apt update. For more details also I am going to run here a command, same command, apt update, apt update, So it will update repo, and then we are going to install net tools on both sides, because it will give us a better idea. Okay, we have now our ifconfig command and also ping command on both container. Okay, so on first container, as you can see, this is what our first container, Freedom Tech 1 and Freedom Tech 2. Okay, so Freedom Tech 1 is connect with by default network. So if I run the command ifconfig, as you can see, it has got the 172.17.0.2, which is our by default bridge. Okay, and this machine, this Ubuntu machine, is connect with our new network which we have created. Okay, so if I run the command ifconfig, as you can see, it has got a 10.0.0.2. Okay, so but friends, on first container, if I ping with our default network, so what is our default network? As we know, if I run the command ifconfig, so this is what our main host, 172.17.0.1, and this first container, of course, it will ping with 172.17.0.1. it will of course ping with 172.17.0.1. okay, clear the screen, and it will also ping with our new network, the 10.0.0.1, ping 10.0.0.1. as you can see, it will ping. But friends, if I go to the another machine, okay, so as you can see here, 10.0.0.2, this machine is also able to ping with our main host, means our 172.17.0.1. so if I run the command ping 172.17.0.1, it's pinging, and of course it will ping with the, just a minute, it will also ping with the 10.0.0.1. okay, but this machine will not be ping with, or will not be communicate with 172.17.0.2. so if I run the command ping 172.17.0.2, as you can see, our second container, second container which we connect with our new network, is not able to ping with this machine, which is our machine is connect with our by default bridge. okay, so how to communicate this machine, this 10.0.0.2 machine with this 172.17.0.2. so simply what we are going to do here, we are going to add our container. This is what our container, this container has name 2. okay, so I will show you again. We are going to check the container name. so this is what the command for checking more details. so as you can see, the containers and name is 2. so we want to add this the name of 2 container in our default bridge network. okay, so how to do this? Sudo, the bridge means, friends, bridge means what? Sudo space, if I again show, I will just show you, sudo network ls, just a minute, sudo network ls, sudo network, sorry, I forget to mention docker network ls. okay, so what we want to do, basically, we, as I told you, we want to communicate our 10.0.0.2 machine with our 172.17.0.2. for that, what we want to do, we want to add the container name is 2. we want to add this 2 container with this by default network, bridge network, means we are going to add the second container with our 172.17 to no, sorry, not 72, 172.17.0.1 network. okay, so sudo space network connect, and the name of our bridge, the name of our bridge is bridge by default. so bridge, bridge, and the container which we want to add, so container name is 2. Okay, so this is what the command, sudo space network space connect space bridge. Bridge is, friends, the name, and the 2 is our new container name, and just hit enter. Just a minute. Okay, again I forgot to mention here a Docker, silly mistakes. So sudo space docker space network space connect space the name of our network, bridge, and name of our container, and just hit enter. So now if I go on our second container, and by default, friends, by default there is only one interface, 10.0.0.2. now we add this container on our default bridge. So if I just clear the screen, and if I run the command if config, as you can see we have now ETH1 interface with 172.70.0.3. this is what our new interface which connect with our by default bridge. Now I can able to ping with our 172.17.0.2 machine. As you can see, we are able to ping. So this is the way, friends, you can create your own network. You can create your own network, and if you want to basically if you want to communicate your own created machine, own network attached machine with by default bridge, then you can also do that. Okay, so this is all the commands. I will mention all these commands inside my description box also. So I hope you will learn something from this video. We will meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.